Hello, it's me, Torrin Atkinson. It's time once again for 20-Minute Monsters. It's Sunday morning here in Vancouver, British Columbia, and today we are drawing the Xag-Ya and the Xeg-Yi. What do you think about that? I'm in a bit of a rush because I gotta go to a nerd convention in a little bit. Let me check my volumes. Everything's good. Let's get my music going. iTunes. I got my water. And let's start with Tour of the Terrible by a good friend, Hoyt Curtin. Turn that down for me so I don't get too distracted. K-Tiff, hello, welcome. Right on time, punctual as always, often. Yeah, let's see what we got here. Okay, come on now. Here we are. The Xag-Ya are creatures from the positive material plane, and Xeg-Yi are from the negative material plane. They are much alike, being reverse images of each other. Xag-Ya are silver and fiery. Ooh. Their touch brings a surge, much like a bolt of lightning that will cause combustion of highly flammable materials. And yeah, okay, we don't care about that, how far their bolts of energy go, or heating, blah, 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 blah. The touch of a black, lifeless Xeg-Yi causes cell death, life energy drain of a mild sort. Xeg-Yi send identical tendrils of negative current which chill metal and inflict damage. Normal metal, magical properties, and magical metals which have not been saved versus energy melt are lost. That which fails against the negative current of Xeg-Yi shatters or decays due to corrosion. Slaying either type of creature releases a burst of energy or negative force within a 10-foot radius. Then there's some numbers for damage. If Xag-Ya and a Xeg-Yi should ever meet, they will rush together and destroy each other in a huge explosion. Only magic weapons will affect these creatures. Xag-Ya are affected by, wait for it, magic creating cold, Xeg-Yi by that creating heat. Both sorts of creatures are subject to attack by disintegrate magic missile, blah 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 blah, blah 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 blah, blah 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 blah. Xag-Ya and Xeg-Yi are often used as guardians of magic. They can be ensnared by magic summons and linked to an object. When the object is torn, broken, or opened without properly negating the summoning link, the Xag-Ya or Xeg-Yi appears and attacks. Both creatures are spherical with many radiating tentacle-like protrusions. Xag-Ya have glowing golden eyes. Xag-Ya have dull metallic orbs. Okay, so that's the description for the Xag-Ya. Let's get our... Curious what X words you have in mind. Yeah, it was a bit of a challenge. I grabbed a few this morning. And we can look at those in a second. I'm going to keep this on hand for my... Let's flip him. Let's flip this guy. There we go. We also have... nope, not that one. This one is the... Which one is this? Oh, this is the Xag-Ya from the 2nd edition Planescape stuff. Which is, pretty cool. Look at those eyes. Just really slits. And then this is the Xeg-Yi, also from 2nd edition. Not sure what book this is from. Not sure where that artist is. Pretty cool signature, though. So that's exciting. I like that. Which one should go on the right? Which one should go on the left? Let's do. I've already got the Xag-Ya on the left. Let's do the Xeg-Yi on the right. Oh, hang on. I've gone too far. This is the art by Wayne Reynolds for 3rd edition D&D for the Xag-Ya. Must be. We'll put him over on the left here. Xanthic, pertaining to... I did... What was the X? What was the last X one I did? Let me check. Because as you know, I'm working on the Monster Manual II from the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. And I've already gone through the Fiend Folio. The Fiend Folio was the Zill. There's the Zill from the Fiend Folio. Not Xanthic, but I believe I used Xanthic for the Zorn when I did the Monster Manual, which was 2 years ago now. There he is, happy little. So I'm not going to worry about colors for this one. I just decided on a green background because I haven't done a green background drawing for a while, so I thought that would be, I don't know, a fun choice. We'll see how it goes. And yeah, do I have any other? Somebody suggested I should name this brilliant person. Let me find it here. Let me find it. I gotta give credit where credit is due. Give me a second. Oh, hang on. While I'm finding this, you can look at all of the links I put on my page here for my website where you can buy my original art and and my Instagram socials, all those things are all right on the page here. Where is it? Come on now. The last one. There, here we go. David Tumarkin, thank you very much, suggested 0-copied Xenagog X-Outs Zarin among Xenoliths. We're not using the Zarin, that's a different monster. So a Xenagog is a guide, someone who conducts strangers, because David really wanted me to draw a Dungeon Master from the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. So he thought a Xenagog, he is a Xenagog. He guides the children through the world. So we will use Xenagog. I guess I can get rid of this now. Let me choose. Let's just use this green, and we'll darken it up. Nice, like that. Oh, let's choose a different marker. Let's choose the which is better, this one or the Rube pen? That's the Fountain Inker or the Rube pen? I think Fountain Inker. Let's do Fountain Inker. It's got more texture to it. Cool. All right. And so we are going to draw. I figure this is not the drawing boat. I'll put one on each side. Oh, I forgot to look at the size, the very important size. They are medium, which means they're man-sized. Medium is man-sized, and Dungeon Master is I would say small. He's shorter than a dwarf. I'd say he's gnomish. So I think we'll put him in the middle here. And I want him. I thought it'd be fun to do an X-ray of Dungeon Master, because that's also an X word. So we'll do a Xenagog. How do you spell it? Xenagog, not Xena. Oh, that'd have been fun to draw too if I drew Xena. But nope, we're drawing Dungeon Master, the Xenagog, X-rayed on Xenolith, which I'll see what that is when I get to it, by Xag-Ya and Xeg-Yi. Alright, so that's what we're drawing. Let me put that on another layer so we just have it. I'll make it red so we can find it later easier. And anything else? Well, here's the Dungeon Master from the Bible, from the Storyboard Artist's Guide, from the cartoon. Here's a frame from the cartoon, which I like this pose because it's gonna match up to what we want. Let me rasterize that, and we can cut that out and have him here. So that's more or less gonna be him, his pose, but we're gonna see him straight on. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Doing an X-ray. I don't know if we'll need those, but we'll keep it. I'll probably have trouble with his face because I've never drawn Dungeon Master before, and he has a very distinctive face, so we don't need that. We'll keep these on hand. Where's my Xeg-Yi? I don't think we need this one. I like all the texture on here, though. That's pretty cool. And then here's the 3rd edition This must also be from Wayne Reynolds because it's a very similar style to the, where's the other one? This guy here. So let's see if we can merge all of these. See if we can merge them. Merge layers. Perfect. Okay. So let me actually, if we can get everything we need from there. And it is 10:11. Let's see if we can do 19-minute monster today. Kill switch. Hello. Welcome. Yay. Pertaining to yellow. Xanthic. Yes. We already talked about that. All right. So it is 10:11. We're going to try to be finished by 10:30. Here we go. Here we go. Draw the... He's going to be, his arms outstretched like he's... I don't know if he's like keeping them from touching, but there's his hands. Maybe it'll be more like putting his hands out like that. Let's try that. Something like that. Ah, my young pupils. Okay, now I need the reference for Dungeon Master. He's got a very pointy head. Just to block out his general. But and it has no neck. He's very hunched over. So let's put his little feeties there, I think. And then what is a not a xenomorph, a xenolith? It is a rock that has other rocks inside it. You can look it up if you don't believe me. So we're going to draw. This is our... Let's make it a little more uneven over here. Something like that. And it'll have smaller rocks of different kinds. Different kinds of rocks. That looks too much like a face. So let's mix that up. These are different kinds of rocks, so I'll have to... And then I feel like the creatures, the critters, will be... Let's make him a little bit smaller. Something like that. Because they'll be man-sized. So there'll be one here and one there. And their tentacles will be interlocking and creating that blast that we read about. It's always hard to draw energy blasts in analog style, but we will give it a try. Let me rotate my canvas here. I had an interesting thing happen today. I don't want to say commission because it's art. Oops. I'm donating the drawing. So I'm a big fan of the dark sun setting. And if anyone's been paying attention to my Facebook or Blue Sky recently, I posted that if you're an illustrator and you like dark sun, I have a project. It's not my project, but it's a project that I was approached for a long time ago to do art for, and it's a good amount of contrast for this. Yeah, yes. Okay, so that's about right. Let's figure out where the eyes are. Don't want that one. Don't want that one. We can delete that layer. Keep that one. These are the ones I want. So we'll put this guy's gonna be facing each other. So this will be the center line for these guys. I don't know why, but the positive one looks more evil. So we'll give him the slanty eyes, and we'll give this one... I noticed the Wayne Reynolds ones don't have eyes at all, but let's stay old school. And I kind of prefer, I love Wayne Reynolds art, but I can't say that the new versions have that old school charm that I'm going to go for in this drawing. So let's let's draw. So anyway, so this project I was donating art to. Let's get one going on. Oh, I'm drawing in the wrong layer. Okay. Cut. No, I don't want contiguous. Cut all X. Let's lock this layer so I don't do that again. Control V. And yeah, this dark sun. I don't like that. I don't like that. Let's try that instead. Does that work better? How many tentacles should they have? Nobody knows. Let's do another one coming around the front here. What was I saying? Dark sun. Dark sun. It's hard to talk and draw at the same time, which is why I chose to do it every weekend. Okay. And the Xag-Yi, let's make his tentacles a little more jaggy. Let me look at my reference again. Wrong reference. I'm going to delete that. Get out of here. Oh, he's got different size. I guess I don't know. Let me think. A bit more. No, that's too much. There, a little more differing in shape and size. Should have done these guys on a different layer, maybe? And maybe one more. Just one more time. Over, I don't know, there's not really room for any more. Yeah, I feel like I should have done different layers, at least for the energy background. But that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. They both have 4. Did we go with 4? I feel like I need one more. Come on. Put them in the background here. Where, let's have, we should have one where they're touching. Maybe I'll do it with these two here. Right here. This is the point where where the explosion is coming from. I don't know. Okay, let's forget this. Let's just do 4. We don't have room for any more. Let me look at Xag-Ya and Xeg-Yi again. Interesting. Do I do the pointillism style of the original? I think I have a brush for that. I could do that. I could do that with a brush. Okay, so maybe I'll come back to that. Let's just get. Dun, 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 dun. Let's put that one here. And so I was drawing, as I said, I'm getting back to my story. As I was drawing the monsters, some monsters for a book. It's for an organization, a group of people who love Dark Sun, and they're kind of the official yet unofficial. Put another one, just the suggestion of another one back here. It's not a licensing agreement they have, but at least as far back as 3rd edition, they were allowed to. They kind of had Wizards of the Coast blessing, because Wizards of the Coast is never going to do any more Dark Sun books. And the reason for that is probably has a lot to do with the slavery that's kind of inherent in the system, plus cannibalism and other things that are very cool, but also very, not the modern sensibilities, I guess you would say. Which I totally understand. I understand why. But irregardless of that, I love the survival aspect of, it's I like Fallout. I'd like to play Fallout on the survival mode, because you have to be careful about your food and your radiation levels more than more than otherwise. Okay, I feel like we have the basic structure of the monsters, and we will come back to giving them texture a little bit later, I think. Right. So anyway, so I was drawing these. Let me give this guy one more tentacle since we have all this empty space back here. I was drawing some pterodactyl-like creatures for this project because they have no budget. They're not allowed to make money on the Dark Sun project because, as I said, it's owned by Wizards of the Coast, and so it's completely volunteer. So I was volunteering my artwork, and you can check out what they've done so far on athas.org, athas.org, A-T-H-A-S, which is the name of the planet, the world, in darksun.org. So I was doing some drawings. I was planning on doing some drawings. I have done some drawings for them in the past, and I was working on this. They're doing a new book, and then the guy said they're using AI to fill up the rest of the art that they need. And I said, oh, if that's true, then please don't put me in the book, and don't use any of the drawings I've done in this book, because I don't want that. I don't want. I'm as anyone who's on my social media at all knows that I'm not a fan of the procedurally generated images that people like to call AI art, for reasons which I hope are obvious. So then they said, that's sad, but since we have no budget, it's kind of the reasons that I explained, since we have no budget and we have a bunch of art needs, we have decided to use, so they're using AI as a baseline, and they're getting another artist to fix the AI art, which is immaterial of my decision to recuse myself from the book. All right, let's do the general shape. So then I said, if I could find artists to give you all of the art that you need for your book, to donate their art, their illustrations, would you guarantee that there would be no? Would you basically throw out all the AI art and have this? Okay, we're not going to do his eyes. Actually, it is good to have his eyes there for now, and publish this book with no AI art. And they said for a future book, yes, we could do that, but not for this one, because a bunch of the work is already done, and we're not going to, and we don't want to undo all that work that's done. So that's kind of why I was asking on my Facebook recently that if you're an artist, I feel like there should be like, right? Is that basically? I feel like is his head too big? No, never. All right, so, and let's get he's causing quite an explosion, so let's get this billowing action. So I love Dark Sun. I hate AI. so that's the position that I'm in right now. So maybe in a future book, I can have my art in there, and we'll see how it goes. But as for now, yeah, I'm not. Okay, so this is the general. I guess we could have his. He's got his little wispies. Here's his ears. Gotta draw his ears. His elfish ears. No, he's more like a halfling ears, I guess. Sorry, I'm not checking the chat. Love Dark Sun. I like the system where the thirstier you get, the more evil you get in Dark Sun. I doubt my art would be good enough. Well, you know, it's kind of like a beggars can't be choosers situation. So I don't know. I don't want to. I say believe in yourself. And I will also remind you of the words of Jake the dog, that sucking at something is the first step to being kind of good at it. So that's, I don't feel like I really captured his hair. I want it to be, maybe that's too much. How are we doing for time? 10:25. We got 6. We got 5 minutes left. I don't think we're going to do it. But let's give it a shot. All right. This will be behind him. That'll all be behind him. We got to draw his hands. And then, pupils, my young pupils, stay away from the Xag-Ya and the Xeg-Yi. Yeah, but I totally, although I am against, we had a perfectly civil discussion about it. I think he, the director guy I was talking to, appreciates my point of view, and I appreciate his point of view and his situation. I would never do what they're doing. But okay, so now let's do there's the skull. There's where his sockets would be. Underpants. This is a silly idea, which of course makes me love it. So now we don't need his eyes anymore, but now we know where they were. Is this what do you call it? Sternum? Hip bone's connected to the thing bone. God, when's the last time I drew a thing bone? Okay. The patella, the femur. This is kind of all gone. It's all gone south here. Sorry, I'm having my. There's the, what do you call it? The tailbone there. Not to be confused with the penis. And then, there we go. Of course, the radius and the ulna. Let's not forget about that. Let me fix this part here. Radius and the ulna. All right, so I feel like we kind of did it. Let's talk about those textures again. How do we do the explosion? Maybe we do the explosion with white. Maybe that's how we do it. Let's go to white. Let's choose a different brush altogether. Some kind of a weirdo brush. What do we got? What do we got? This one? Let's try this one. Yeah, that might do it. Oh, we didn't do the xenoliths. Okay. Okay, that's a start. I think we might need to do another layer with a different brush, because I'm not getting... Here we go. Yes, yes. Here we go. So let's go back to the... We are at 10:29. All right. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish this. Go back to my other brush. Didn't finish. What is it? This one. Fountain Ink or Bleed? Is that the one? Okay. Oh, God damn it. This is just a rock. It's just a rock, everybody. This is our shadow. That's not how you draw rocks, dummy. Let's get some the texture technique. Listening to the D&D music from Johnny Pearson right now, which you can get on Amazon and other places where you buy music. So now let's just do it. This represents the xenolith. This is a different kind of rock, right? Right? Just make this one bigger. Right? Does that make sense? Sure. There's the xenolith. And then I got to do another. Let's do another layer. Where I just fill this in. And then I think we'll be done. Here is... Oh, we got to add some texture to the Xag-Ya and the Xeg-Yi, who really should be the stars of the show, but I think the stars of the show is actually our good friend. Dungeon Master here. Let's increase that just a little bit. No, actually, I think it was fine where it was. And then, okay, here we go. All right, where's our white layer? Let's go back to white. Nope, I just want to do that. Coccyx, yes, thank you. I beg your pardon. I'll just put these things here. We don't need to be too precious about that. I think we really need to have the juncture point. Oops. Yes. All right, one more. We're going to do one more layer. And that's just going to be... Oh, God, I need to read the description again. No, I deleted it. Which one has the black eyes? This one has the black eyes. The one on the right has the black eyes. So let me do that. And let me actually... Is this the right layer? Let me do that. Right? The blackest of the black eyes. Let's give a little bit of texture in there. And then this one can have the glowing eyes. The texture is outside of the eyes. Right? Look at that, eh? Get some spots. I don't know why these got spots, but... And this one has lines instead of spots. I feel like it should have been the other way around, but too late. I'm not going to go and undo all that. And then so our last layer, as I was talking about, is going to be this white layer. We can do this here. That's too big. We are over by 3 minutes. Always going over. So this will be the point of contact here. Put some nice highlights going on here. Get him around the back there. Right? Does that make sense? Are you with me on this? Are you joining me on this journey of ridiculousness? Oops. Don't want to cover up my... God damn it. God damn it. I'm in trouble. I'm in so much trouble. God damn it. Just want to do an outline. I don't want to do a over top of. And then this is all going to be... This is where here's where the energy really comes from. This is another... Okay. That looks terrible. I just erase that here and here and here. And that should be more or less what we're looking for. I have noticed I've put 0 room for the writing. So let's take all of this, shrink it down a little bit, and yeah, I guess we're done. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. What did we say this was? This was a Xenagogue X-rayed on a xenolith by Xag-Ya Ya plus Xeg-Yi. Perfect. 20-minute monster. Thank you for joining me again. Where's my little thing? Put that down there. Zip. And sign it, I guess. I should sign my name. Torin 2025. Next week will be the letter Y. Why? Because I love you. Charles Quiet, welcome. Shocking. Yes, indeed. The letter Y is for... Here's some options. Nope, wrong page. There, yes. Yeth Hound. The Yeth Hound. And the Yochlol. See it there? Oh, God. It's hard for me to... There we go. Lochyol and the Yuan T, which is probably what I will choose. So if you got any... I could draw a yellow Yuan T. If you got any fun Y words, you want to find me on the social media, and put in your requests. I just want to add a couple more white highlights here before I go, and I will remind you that yes, indeed, you can hire me to do a commission. I'm in the middle of drawing something for a paid project right now, which I may or may not live stream depending on how things go. I will thank everyone for joining me. I will see you next time on the internet. And let's just put a little bit of highlight right there. And yeah, goodbye. Thanks for joining. Killswitch, Charles Quiet, K-Tiff. Anyone else? Nope, that's all for now. I will see you next time on the internet. Like and subscribe!